podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Wright, coming to you from the chilly and beautiful confines of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Wherever you may be watching or listening, I thank you as always. Like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel. This episode 147 or 148, somewhere in there, will basically be dedicated to Thursday Night Football, Patriots versus Jets. We're going to be discussing the thrilling victory by New England Patriots, winning 27-14. Detail and recap that game. Also, some key points and takeaways from the game, things I think we need to basically look forward to for New England and their path possibly to going to the Super Bowl, or the road to the Super Bowl going through New England, and what does the future look like for the New York Jets going forward. But as always, want to give a shout out to a couple friends of the show. Definitely check out the #1 and #2 leading ticket resellers in the world to live event shows and concerts, StubHub and Viagogo. As you guys will see here on the screen, there will be links to different concerts and different sporting events that you guys may be interested into or looking forward to get into. I definitely implore you to check it out. Tickets are available. Creative ID link is on the screen. Also, for my avid gamers out there, for my PlayStation gamers, there's a huge sale going on right now with Sony PlayStation. You will see in the description box of this video, there will be a link that you'll be able to access. I implore you to check it out. The holidays are coming up. Definitely want to jump on these things before it starts to get hectic. Sony PlayStation, more than a game. All right, guys. So getting into this game, this recap, Patriots versus Jets. The game was a lot more exciting early on than I thought. Going into it, you kind of felt like it was a back and forth affair. Firstly, especially the first two quarters, Jets come out with that amazing drive. I mean, first of all, 17 plays, 72 yards. You get down the field. Justin Fields looks, sharp. He looks like he's on the money. Guys are catching the ball. The running game is effective. Everything's going well for the Jets. And it looked like this was a recipe for what they've been trying to do all season on a more consistent basis throughout a game, at least to start a game properly. So you got to give the Jets credit there. Nice mix of the run and pass. They're able to score a touchdown, seeing here Justin Fields. And it was funny because on that play, could have handed the ball off, easily got the touchdown, but he, takes the option, runs it to the edge. He's faster than most linebackers and safeties in that situation, so he gets there. But that being said, I'll get to their ineptitude. You want to talk more or less about the New England Patriots and what they were able to do last night. The Patriots, and I've been saying this throughout the year when chronologizing this team or talking about the New England Patriots, they're not a team that you can necessarily sleep on and think that we can easily walk into a game and beat them because they're a young team and they just haven't really reached their full capability or reached their full zenith yet, or potential, that French word that we talk about here on the show. But basically, I would contend that with the year that the Chiefs have been having, the Ravens have been having, and the year that the Bengals have been having, especially those collective of teams that have been kind of dominant in the AFC for a long while, I would actually say that there's a great chance that New England could steal it this year. They or Indianapolis, either one, but New England could definitely surprise some people this year. I wouldn't be shocked to see them in the AFC Championship game. I really wouldn't. I mean, honest to God truth, Mike Vrabel, his coaching pedigree, he has this team on point. I mean, Drake May, Travion Henderson, Stephon Diggs, the collective of talent that they have, the young guys that they had from last year, how they have those guys playing this year. It's everything that you want. You have to be happy if you're a New England Patriots fan. This was everything plus some that you desire going into this year. And then, of course, going into the second quarter, the Patriots get back-to-back drives, getting touchdowns, just effective. First drive, is capped off with Travion Henderson getting a touchdown. Second touchdown drive, you get capped off with essentially Travion Henderson getting his second touchdown. So there was your points essentially for the Patriots there. Drake May again looks the part. The more and more I continue to watch games and watch him play, the more and more I'm being impressed by what he's doing. I mean, he's already touching marks that Tom Brady and elite quarterbacks have already reached at this point in their career, second years. This guy is really doing it. 25 of 34, 281 yards. He had a touchdown, completion percentage of 73%. So you definitely are happy with what you got. He was only sacked one time, so that really speaks to his mobility and the fact that their offensive line has actually been playing very well this year. So got to give a lot of credit to the Patriots. Like I said, receiving-wise, talked about Stephon Diggs. Mac Hollins has kind of been one of the most underrated weapon for New England. You've heard me espouse about Travion Henderson. You've heard me talk about Stephon Diggs. Mac Hollins, I've referenced him before. Former Philadelphia Eagle, played for the Raiders, now a New England Patriot. He's found a lane. He's developed into that possession receiver, that backup, second, third, more like third, slot possession receiver who just gets open, gets the ball, gets yards, makes some plays. I mean, again, he had 5 targets last night, 4 receptions, 64 yards. You have to be impressed with what you saw from him. I mean, if you're getting more contributions like that, Demario Douglas getting a couple of touches, Hunter Henry getting a couple catches. If you're getting contributions like this on the offense, even on a night where the running game is not that effective, the sky's the limit. Sky's the limit for New England. You have to start thinking and possibly thinking and putting in your mind that this team could be a problem. They're not going to be an easy out in the AFC. I can definitely promise you that. I don't care if it's Buffalo, Kansas City, whoever runs up against them, they are going to be tested. Now, we all know in the playoffs, experience matters. That is ultimately the defining factor in who's going to win the game. But I'm telling you now, New England's my dark horse. I know they're right now slotted as the #1 seed. However it may fall, they're going to end up a top seed in the AFC. No one's expecting them to win. So I'm telling you now, they're my dark horse in the AFC. Now, as for the New York Jets, to say disappointment with the way this game started and how it played out, you get Justin Fields starting off the game sharp and accurate. You're happy with that. You get the running game somewhat productive. Again, Justin Fields was predominantly your running game. Breece Hall, 14 carries, 58 yards. Not really much to hang your hat on there. But Justin Fields is running the ball, passing the ball. So he's pretty much doing a little bit of everything offensively. And receiving wise, I mean, I'm going to get into the specifics on the drops. But when you start realizing that once Garrett Wilson was announced that he was going to be on injured reserve and they were going into this game tonight, it's sad to think that maybe had he played, they probably steal this game. And I'm going out on a limb to say that. Again, defense, did as best as they could against the Patriots. They really did. But I'm willing to bet when you look at this and you really examine this all in a nutshell, had Garrett Wilson played, this game might have been different offensively for the Jets. But they're so fucking inconsistent. They can't sustain. There's no continuity. Looking at it, the penalties were definitely a major factor against the Jets. Justin Fields fumbling the ball late in the game, and I don't give a damn about the tight end getting the ball knocked out of his hands late while the Jets are driving, trying to score late before the game ends. That fumble by Justin Fields essentially just killed the fucking momentum and killed the game for the Jets. But he wasn't the only guy. Again, the receiving corps didn't really give him much outside of John Mechie scoring a touchdown. Again, here, let's just look at it for what it is. Third down efficiency. You liked what you saw from the Jets. 8 of 14, so you're 57%. Patriots were 50% respectively. Fourth down percentage, you went for it one time, didn't convert. That definitely didn't help. Also, too, passing yards. The inability for Justin Fields to consistently complete passes is definitely something that hurts and limits this offense. I know Woody Johnson took a lot of shit for stating it in his interview or that press conference or that interview he had with that news reporter, but it's a fact. I mean, look at the net passing yards here. You're talking about 105 passing yards? 105. Times thrown, yards lost, 211. You gross 116 passing yards if you're the Jets. That's not getting it done. Not against that Patriots defense, not on a Thursday night, it's not getting it done. You're going a bit further, and then you go to red zone efficiency, 1 of 2, and then you got the Patriots 3 of 5. That's the game. You're fumbling in key positions. You're not getting it done in the red zone. You're not really passing the ball effectively enough. They're not a good football team by any stretch of the imagination. You don't need me to say that. You don't need Miss Cleo to say that. But this team is really garbage. And they're going to have so many fucking issues going forward. They really need to start addressing the future now. And I'm looking here to go into the penalty yards. Because I know for a fact the Jets were the Jets were having so many dumbass, bonehead penalties. It was insane. I mean, look here. Just in contrast, you have the Jets. Well, let's start with New England. New England has 1 penalty for 10 yards. The Jets alone, 4 penalties, 32 yards. And look when these penalties happen. These are penalties that are occurring when what? Key spots, key stops. Key situations where down and distance is needed for the Jets defense to win the game or to get the ball back for the offense, and they can't get stops. they have to start reviewing their plan for next year. You got to keep Justin Fields because you got him under contract for a year. I think you have to draft a rookie quarterback, and I would contest bringing in another veteran. It can't hurt. Your passing game is just feckless. This kid's a bust. I think it's very definitive to say. He did a lot last night. I won't say it was all his fault, but when your quarterback plays like that and then turns the ball over late, it just puts you in very shitty situations where you can't win. That's going to do it for this episode, guys. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys for plugging in. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.